What's going on, Assassins? It's Darkstrider, the YouTube Assassin. And as I've been going through comments recently, I found a couple of things that a couple of people are interested in, and I really want your opinion on it. First of all, we had Odyssey versus Valhalla, and right now that video is up, and debate is raging on for and against both games. A lot of people talking about the positives, a lot of people talking about negatives, and of course, changes that they would make. And if you really think about it, any game you would change something about, even the most minute thing. Not that it would be to fix it because the game is busted or anything like that, but just you would like to see a little extra or maybe something done differently, some nuance or whatnot. So it all depends on your play style and what you're interested in and whatnot. But a lot of people, again, that debate is raging on, and it's actually pretty cool. It's not rage in the sense of like hate, like, nobody is losing their minds, everyone's behaving themselves, and it's a solid debate. I really love that, and I appreciate all you guys who are partaking in that. You guys are awesome. Now, one of the other things that I've discovered was, what about direct sequels to games? And of course, the one big game that people are talking about is Odyssey. Would you play a direct sequel to Assassin's Creed Odyssey? Now, let me set this up for you. First of all, we know that some games do that. They do direct sequels. Obviously, games like The Last of Us Part 2 was obviously a sequel. It had some flashback sequences and whatnot, but obviously it was a direct sequel from the first one. Ezio, he had two direct sequels in his line. He had Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, Revelations. Each one took place after the last one, not within like a day or a week or something like that. Might have been a couple of years. Well, actually, Brotherhood took place directly at the end of Assassin's Creed 2. Assassin's Creed Revelations, that was years later. But regardless, it was, to me at least, it was a great series. I really enjoyed it. Now, a direct sequel to Odyssey, what would that entail? That, it actually seems kind of interesting to me. First of all, because of the way Odyssey was laid out, I thought that Ubisoft had a couple of missed opportunities. First of all, we know that Kassandra is the canon character. And what I mean by that is canon being that in all media, if they were to make a movie about Assassin's Creed Odyssey, if you read a book, if you read a comic book, if there was some kind of cartoon series that was created, Kassandra is the eagle bearer. She is the hero of the story, with Alexios being Deimos. Okay? Being the bad guy, being the brother that, was basically kidnapped and raised to be a Templar. Before they were Templars, obviously. So, what I had thought on the original Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because there was such a long period of time between Odyssey and Valhalla, I thought that it was a missed opportunity. They could have technically created an Assassin's Creed Odyssey, maybe an expansion, or given us an update where you play Alexios' side of the story, where you play how he was raised by these guys, and maybe he had to kill a certain amount of people who obviously not were assassins because the assassins weren't around back here, but possibly a couple of leaders that would give the Templars at that time, or the Order of the Ancients, a foothold into what was going on, or into Greece. Maybe get them a little more power that they need. Get rid of adversaries. Get rid of anybody who was going to object to their rise in power. And I thought that that would have been an excellent idea. So, if they're making a direct sequel to it, maybe they do something like that. But then again, maybe you don't want something like that. Maybe they do something where it's the eagle bearer. Again, you get to choose either Alexios or Kassandra. And maybe it's what they did after the events of the Fate of Atlantis DLC. What if afterwards you see Kassandra or Alexios in their journey across the world, learning all kinds of things, maybe it's a game where it goes through time little by little, where you start in Greece and you leave Greece. Everybody's getting older, everybody's dying. You obviously are immortal because you have the staff, and you decide to leave. You decide to go elsewhere. You decide to travel the world. You can't stay in Greece because people are going to think something's wrong with you or think you're some kind of god. You don't want that kind of responsibility. You don't want that kind of power. You decide to leave and you go elsewhere. You go to, Rome. You go to Italy. You go to France. You go to Europe. You go anywhere, And it would actually be kind of cool if they did it that way. And then you could sort of run into the assassins and kind of maybe possibly give them a little bit of history here and there, kind of help them out, kind of help them shape themselves. I think that would be kind of cool, That things like that I could see working out. But then again, maybe you don't want something like that. What would you want to see if they were making a direct sequel to this game? And if they were making direct sequels to games, what other Assassin's Creed entry would you like to see a second entry into, a second direct sequel? Or even if they were making sequels like that, would you like to see some sort of mashup? Would you like to see some sort of thing where maybe it's a direct sequel to this game, but you go through time, you're dealing with other characters and whatnot, or it shows like how Valhalla led into the Assassin's Creed, the original game. Things like that. What would you think about that? I know a lot of people are really, really into the idea of a direct sequel to Assassin's Creed Odyssey. A lot of people enjoyed it. The same team that did Odyssey actually did Phoenix Immortals Rising, or Immortals Phoenix Rising. That game was pretty cool. It was basically this game, except it had a couple of extra things going on. But it was a really fun game. They still had a lot of the Greek mythology and whatnot. They had a lot of the Greek gods. They dealt with Zeus. They dealt with all of those characters. And those characters had a more direct take on the story because it was obviously a story about those gods and them being existent and things like that. So I thought it was a great game, though. It was a lot of fun. But I want to know from you guys, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that direct sequels are a good thing? Do you think that the Ezio trilogy was an excellent sort of springboard for that? Do you think that he deserved those 3 games? Or do you think that it was too much, that maybe after Brotherhood they should have quit? Let me know that in the comments below. Other than that, I really do hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure you like, you subscribe. You never miss content that way. Lets YouTube know that you want to watch my videos. And until next time, take care, be good, stay safe, take care of each other. I'll see you guys all in the next one. And we're going to end this on a ya yeet.
Ya yeet!